there's this thing that we've been dealing with now, and it's kind of snuck up on us. I think everybody realizes that you cannot get away from made in China products anymore.
Yeah.
It's very difficult anyway. Yeah. But there are certain dangers inherently attached to made in China products, and that's because unless you're buying from a good brand that has quality control, like serious quality control, you can actually put yourself in danger.
You can.
Yeah. But we thought we'd take a look at some of the funnier kind of made in China product fails, and we've got a lot lined up. So let's start out with this lovely power outlet. Okay, so I'm just going to play the clip, and then I'm going to explain to you why this kind of thing happens. Okay? And this has happened to me in China, actually, several times. Okay? Where the plastic just becomes brittle and crumbles. You buy a product like a, whatever you call this, what do you call it, power strip?
Yeah, like a surge protector or whatever.
Yeah, multi-plug, whatever. Yeah. That's definitely not a surge protector. That's just a power strip.
You know what I mean. It can have surge protecting abilities.
Yeah.
It can.
Yeah, it can. Not this one, though. No. Anyway, you buy something in the supermarkets in China, and also if you buy something cheap off of Amazon or something like that. But these in particular, this kind of thing, very soon after buying it, less than a year, they become brittle to the point where, like this guy, you can just push your fingers through it and it cracks.
Yeah.
And falls apart. And that's not something that you want when you're dealing with electricity, you know? And basically the reason this happens is because they don't use good plasticizers when they make the plastic. Yeah. And, you know, someone like me who collects very old technology, you know, I've got old computers from the 80s, for instance, and sometimes some of the old technology will become, the plastic will become brittle.
Yes.
And it will also break, but never this bad.
Yes.
So it's not about the chemicals being wrong. It's just they're not using the right chemicals and they're not doing it properly. And it's not only things like that. I mean, look, this is completely sealed, these clothes pegs over here.
Yes.
So they haven't had a chance for, you know, exposure to the elements, you know. But look, they just fall apart too. It's just very cheap, bad manufacturing. And imagine you taking a swing with the machete and it flies away in your hand because of that, you know. But
I like this one.
Yeah, this one's kind of funny. It's like a pick and choose. You can
see which one works.
You can actually tell which ones were properly produced.
It's the darker ones.
Yeah, the darker ones obviously have the right kind of plasticizer inside of them, and the rest were just cheaply made. So, I mean, clothes pegs or whatever, it's not really going to affect you too badly. But now, what about, you know, your pen? Because it's the same kind of idea. It's the handle here coming apart because of bad manufacture, you know, bad plastics and so on. This seems to be quite a common thing that happens.
What's up with these pans?
Yeah, there's a lot of this going on. I guess it happens a lot.
Over here.
You know, would it hurt you? Yes, it would. It would hurt you.
Yeah, that would absolutely hurt you, for sure.
This is actually not the handle. I love this one. Actually, let me get us out of here.
Let me predict.
Okay, what do you think is going to happen?
I think something to do with the stove will break.
Okay, well, let's take a look.
Just the actual pan?
Yeah, just the whole, the metal just came apart.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, here's another example of the bad plastics.
I didn't see that coming.
Nope. I didn't really see this one coming either, but the guy just punched a hole directly through the desk
So the desk is weaker than the nut.
Yeah, trying to crack a walnut. Yeah, man, walnuts are another thing, man. They're so tough.
They are.
Anyway, that
is
desk
a
sucks.
thin-ass desk.
Yeah, and obviously you get very badly made, you know, nonsense like this, which is just, rubbish. Now this, maybe you can explain what's happening in this this fairly common scene in China.
Yeah, this is like your normal kind of workers type place where they would live. And they have something called a kang. And the kang is basically a big slab of concrete, and they put fire, they'll burn coal under it to actually keep the bed warm. And that's how they keep warm, is that you go on the kang, you don't heat the whole room. Although it does help to heat the room.
Sure.
And that's where you sleep. It keeps you warm. So they're laying on the kang, and let's just see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, some families that build them out of bricks and stuff, and they actually use it as an oven too, and all that. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's a very interesting way to deal with the weather. Anyway, what's going to happen here? Ooh. You know, I love how synchronized they are.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? Like when the guys get up, they obviously have dealt with this before.
Yeah.
Take a look. It's like, They are just
he's like, yeah, they're like
exactly
we're out of here. This is not
they
the first
stand
time
up
this
in the
has
exact
happened.
same way. They turn at the exact same time.
I like how they don't even look at it.
No, they're just like, okay, this again, and out they go.
Let's see this tractor.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap! Literally,
Yeah, that's a bit of a snap right there.
snapoo.
So, yeah, don't expect that your Chinese vehicles to stand up to any real, torture tests.
Why is this woman kicking a banister?
Well, no, sometimes you're walking along and there's like, you just want to kick a pole.
I guess.
You've never done that?
Oh, I love Polish people.
No, you know what I mean. You're just like walking there and there's like a fence or something. You push your foot against it.
Of course.
But you know what? Chinese people like to do this a lot.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
common.
and especially like when they're doing stretching or something.
Yeah, that's the
They do like to kind of lean on or pull on certain things. So maybe that's what was going on. They were putting
we
their
saw
foot
a
up.
lot of that in China.
Yeah, putting their foot up on there to do a stretch, maybe. Unfortunately, that led to this domino effect where everything fell down. Now, this clip is 3 years old.
That is very satisfying, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And this
I kind of love that.
It also shows you how bad the construction is if those things just can't stay up. This is 3 years old, so I decided I'd get a clip from about 2 weeks ago. People in Shabanho would have seen it already.
Yeah. Whoa, what are you doing?
We wanted to give you all the experience of the Ai Guangchang Wu, which is the middle-aged women love to do the square dancing. Okay, they set up a little Bluetooth speaker, and they have a microphone usually, and they sing and listen to very tinny, very awful music.
You know the song All About That Bass?
Yeah,
No treble.
Yeah, this is all about that treble. No, yeah, exactly. And they do dancing, right? But obviously, before the dancing, they're doing some stretching exercises. I would like you to pay attention to the lady just above my head here. I'll get us out of here in whatever color that is, kind of like a purpley, kind of mauve color, whatever you call it. Okay, let's see.
Oh!
Whoops.
Thankfully, she was okay, but that shows you the quality.
Yeah, no, she was fine.
Tofu dreg quality, right?
Yeah.
Imagine your concrete being that poor.
Yeah.
That an old lady ripped.
Yeah,
she is strong as hell.
Yeah, she like broke it. Look at how it rolled and hit their chairs. That's kind of my favorite part, that there's a roll on from that. So it's like okay. The music.
Interesting response.
She's fine. She's standing up, by the way. For those of you worried, she's standing.
Does that group do bar mitzvahs?
You don't want him.
Not want that.
There are these crazy situations where people in neighborhoods they hate these Guangchangwu Ais, these aunties, because they normally start very early in the morning or very late at night. They especially like to do it late at night. So 10, 11 p.m. They're blasting this music.
It's usually techno-y.
Yeah, it's very loud and very obnoxious. And people, I remember one case where a guy bought a military crowd suppression system, which is these huge speakers that are supposed to like chase rioters away.
Yes.
And he used that to blast them.
Yes.
And they didn't even care.
No.
They just put their music even louder and kept doing it.
They laughed it off.
Yeah, they just kept doing it. Anyway, so she's fine, don't worry. Wait, you know what that reminds me of?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, here's where it gets sinister. Okay. This is a thermometer. Okay? It's what you do. You read temperature. Yeah. It's one of those...
Oh, thanks.
But
I didn't know that's what thermometers do.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. But for those of you who are not quite sure, okay, it's not a thermostat, okay? It's a thermometer. Okay, it's handheld. Yes. It's got batteries. It uses lasers or whatever, space lasers. Woo! Anyway, you know what a thermometer is. Okay. Now, it's reading 37. Okay, so the guy tests again. Okay, now it's 36. All right. Okay, 36.5. So now we all know that's a good body temperature to have. What is that in Fahrenheit?
I don't know. I mean, it should be 98.6.
Well, let's see what 36.5 is, because I think that's correct.
Yeah, that's good enough. Good enough.
So that means you don't really have a fever or anything. You're fine, right? Yeah. Okay. However, it's fake. The sensor's not even hooked up. It's missing components. But But if you point it at an object and pull the trigger, see?
Yes.
It actually changes to a normal rate. Look, 36 or 36.1. 36.2. And look, it's not connected to anything. It's just making a beep and giving you a false reading.
Yes.
Okay, now this is where it gets very sinister. Because this is an export model for Russia from China. Okay, as you can see here. There's all the specs of it, okay? And, you know, on the front cover, it's advertised. It's got this, you know, this lovely woman and her child. And the whole point is like...
kid eating her face?
Well, I was giving her a kiss, you know. Okay. I mean, here's the thing. That's what you use it for, right?
Yes.
You would buy this because you're worried that your kid has a temperature.
Yeah, of course.
Like your kid has
sick,
a
right?
fever. So you buy this to test your child's temperature.
But it's a random number generator.
But and it's always good. So, you know, the thing is you test your child's temperature and it looks okay and you're like, oh, it must just be me. I'm imagining it. I won't take them to the hospital.
Yeah. Imagine that.
It can put your child's life in danger.
Yeah.
When you're buying cheap Chinese goods off of Amazon, or especially, you know, at least Amazon has a pretty robust reviewing system.
Yeah, you could read other people's stuff.
But things like Temu, there's nothing.
There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do. You can't tell anything about that product. No. It's rubbish. Any of these drop shipping kind of AliExpress, anything like that. If you're buying...
I wouldn't use them.
No, if you're buying a product off of there, you don't know what you're getting.
No.
Okay? And if you don't know what you're doing and you see this and you see this, oh, the temperature's okay, but it's fake, you wouldn't know. No. And you could put your family in danger.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I say this gets sinister. Because remember... And this is an unfortunate thing in China, 能骗就骗, if you can cheat, then cheat. Mm-hmm. There's a certain group of people in China, certain, you know, demographic of people that don't care if they kill people as long as they get money.
Yeah, and actually, you know what's interesting is if we rewind back to the COVID thing in China when everyone was like, look how good of a job China's doing and stuff. Well, what do you think happened when there was a company, probably multiple companies, that were making random number generator thermometers that were always telling you that you don't have a fever?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's just one element, but think of that, like scale that up.
Yeah.
COVID tests. We saw it. There was fake COVID tests.
Remember, they were making fake COVID tests. Yeah.
They were testing fake by just dipping things
just
in like
dipping it in
vial.
A random vial. Yeah.
They were doing all kinds of stuff like this, and the government was claiming victory over this. How is there victory when there's so much nonsense?
Yeah, so much nonsense
and lying.
Exactly, cheating and lying. Yeah, and don't forget that they did that whole milk infant formula thing where they put like industrial laminate in it to give it a better protein score or something.
Yeah.
And it killed infants. Like scores of young babies died in China because they just wanted to cheat and make more money.
That's right.
And take shortcuts. So remember, there are certain people, and of course this is not Chinese people, it's just certain people, there's a certain demographic in China that they've come from a bad place. They lived through the Mao Zedong starvation and all that. They've gotten to a certain point and they have no morals. They don't care if they kill children as long as they can get a little bit of profit.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
So you have to be very careful. You cannot just take their word for it, you know, if you're buying off of an unknown Temu or something like that, you know? There's just a bit of a warning there because you don't want this to be you or this, you know?
You just don't know.
It's like buy an original cable. You know, if you're going to buy a Chinese $2 cable, you can expect it to start smoking and possibly catch fire.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe even get addicted.
Yeah. Yeah, now this.
Sorry.
Whatever, dude.
I'm sorry.
This particular thing is just funny. You can buy phones, you know, these kind of unbranded, kind of off-market phones in China, which claim to have all these high specs.
Oh, and they're so cheap.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be like, oh, it's got like this one's got 5 cameras and a Leica lens. If you look at it, see it says Leica on there. You see there? So it's like a Leica. It's got like 5 lenses. Really cool.
Nice.
Right?
Let's see this. Let's see it. Oh,
it's actually just
it's a tiny crap camera.
Yeah, dude. Like every time you see these stats when it's like on Temu or whatever website, and they're like, "Hey, this has got like 4K high definition playback or whatever." It's not true. It maybe has like, I don't know, 640 by 480 playback, maybe. Okay, and it's got like a 30 megapixel camera. It's not. It's like a 0.3. It's rubbish. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been burned by this.
Yeah.
You see something, it looks like it's got really good specs, but it's just fake.
There was that drone. Remember that drone that China was marketing? It was like, it's better than the Mavic and all this kind of stuff. And it was like, trash.
Oh, dude, if you ever see an ad playing where it says like, this guy worked for a big company and then, you know, he developed his own one, but then they tried to stop him. Buy it now before it's all gone, that kind of thing. That's just some rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, of course, we're all aware, we're not going to play a lot of these, but we're all aware of the whole exploding battery situation with various vehicles. Yeah. It's not what you want.
Just YouTube chill out.
Yeah, no, he's fine. Let's move on to tools, because this is going to move us up to our slightly bigger topic here. So, buying Chinese tools, they're cheap, and you can pick them up like in places like Harbor Freight and so on. You know, you can, but you have to realize that at the end of the day, what you're buying is just not great. If you can afford the better ones, buy the better ones, because you can put your health and safety at risk.
Yeah.
You know, if you buy a junky sort of jack stand or something and it comes apart, or, you know, like this guy's busy doing that, but what if it snapped very quickly? He could have fallen down and impaled himself on something.
Yeah, who knows, right?
Yeah, it's never good. This I love. Okay, this is a drill bit. Everybody should know what a drill bit is.
Yes.
It's a bit you put in your drill.
Yes.
And that's how you drill the holes and stuff.
Yes.
Okay. This guy's trying to drill into plastic.
Okay.
Yeah. He's just basically winding and unwinding the drill bit. Look at that.
Wow, that's it's pretty satisfying.
It's interesting. Yeah.
He's making it to its own specification.
Yeah. Here again, Russia gets bitten in the ass because, you know, the thing is Russia's right on the border with China.
And also they have huge trade agreements.
Yeah.
So they have to buy their stuff.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff goes to Russia from China. Here are some angle grinder discs.
I actually heard a lot of Russians get super mad at these trade agreements because they're forced to, like, these stores are kind of forced by the government to stock these Chinese products, and now they don't have good stuff anymore.
Yeah.
I've been hearing that.
Makes sense. So these are grinder discs, okay? And if you're going to go and work on construction, okay, you see this nice brand new grinder disc from China. This is, of course, for the, you know, the Russian market. Let's go. Let's test out this grinder. In fact, let me get us out of here for that. Okay, he's going to test the grinder disc. Here we go. Yep. I love grinders, actually.
That's a good app. I know you like it.
Yeah.
This, look, it ripped through it like butter. If you guys were listening,
well,
you weren't able to listen.
Yeah.
This Russian dude took a grinder.
Yeah, brand new grinding disc. Yeah.
Didn't cut through the metal at all. In fact, it vaporized. It looked like it was made of liquid.
Yeah, it just basically ate the disc away. That's not going to help you a lot if you're actually trying to cut anything, you know?
Yeah. No.
It's ridiculous. That's all that's left. And it didn't cut the metal. Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Here the guy's working on a lathe, doing some woodwork on a lathe. All right? I'll get us out of here again. Again, this is tools. You got to watch
interesting thing he's making.
It's probably a bedpost or something, or a chair leg or something, right? Okay, don't get your mind out.
I know.
Anyway, let's see. He's busy doing it, and bam! Look at that. It actually snaps. Okay.
Wow. That's dangerous.
Yeah, that's the supporting bracket that he has his hand on. Now, you don't want that to happen when you're holding a sharp file or whatever it is, chisel. You just don't want that kind of thing.
That actually makes me super, like, he gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I mean, here's the thing. Anyone who does their own kind of DIY stuff, working on cars, doing woodwork and stuff, if there's any kind of power tool or some kind of equipment that you know, can severely injure you if things go wrong, don't buy Chinese. Spend more money and buy the made in Germany or, you know, made in Europe or made in America, you know, type thing. Like get a DeWalt or something, if you can afford it.
You can,
and if not, get something up. But just stay away from the cheaper Chinese stuff when it comes to things that can injure you.
Yes.
You know? Now this is classic.
This is very important.
This is on a construction site in China. And I guess some of the construction workers all got together and lined their measuring tapes up next to each other, and none of them match.
That is so devastating. And I want you guys to step back and don't just look at like a cheap measuring tape that they bought on Taobao.
No, that's what they would have been given.
Look at this from the perspective of somebody that is using tape measures to build a building where people are living, to measure siding, to measure elevator cable lengths, to measure places where people are putting large amounts of weight, right? all of these things that rely on specific measurements and tolerances.
And precision, yeah.
And precision. And I have a quick anecdote. When my new apartment was being built, because we bought it before it was finished, nothing lined up. The tiles didn't line up. There were different levels of concrete where the windows were supposed to go in. Everything was off. And now I know why.
Yeah. Yeah, because if your tools, your measuring equipment is all fake and wrong and chabador, as we say, of course you're not going to be able to get it right. You know, unless you're just using one of them. But it's a team of people, right? And they're all measuring, doing their measure, put the brick there, make sure it's the right height or whatever, you know, smack it down to that height. And then the guy that does the next line is using a different one, you know? It's not good.
She's a brick house, but it's like all...
it's all over the place. Anyway, so that leads us to more construction foibles, okay? And here we can see...
keep that in mind as you go through these.
Yeah. I'll get us out of here. Here these guys are just chilling in their office, and this dude just kind of appears out of nowhere, like through the ceiling. Where is he? Here he comes.
It's sad, but it's also...
No one gets hurt, don't worry. And then?
It's coming.
Yeah, where is it? There. Bam.
You know what's good about that one?
Yeah.
Just stop it.
He's still on his phone.
He's like...
What the hell?
The thing is, there was so much mass that seeped down first that it was actually a very slow fall.
Yeah.
So he's fine. But let's be honest. We're showing you a clip because we're on YouTube and you're seeing where it was fine.
What we're allowed to show you.
You gotta understand how many are not fine.
Daily, when I'm gathering material, I come across these horrendous videos of very bad accidents in China, whether it be just on the road or, you know, construction accidents and stuff. And part of me really wants to show the world how bad it is, to shock people into actually taking notice. But, you know, of course, I don't want to be ruining anyone's day. And at the same time, you know, we'd get our channel taken down.
No, let's bring this back positive.
Yeah.
But can you show that one part again where he falls down? Because I love that he's still on his phone.
Yeah.
I want to see him like...
Yeah, sure. Here it comes.
Uninterrupted on his phone.
And we actually have a different angle of this as well.
Oh.
Here it comes down. Man.
See how slow he fell down?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm just chilling.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, I'm just chilling.
Yeah, he's just totally okay. He gets up and walks off. Look, he's totally okay.
He took the elevator.
Yeah, the elevator. Yeah, the elevator. I love that. Anyway, here's another angle. See, there's that red poster on the wall up there? So we can
That's
see.
our marker.
Yeah. Oh, no, before we get to that, sorry.
This is the irony of this clip.
Okay, let's take a look at this. You got a bunch of construction workers in their boardroom, okay? And it's raining on them, basically. Okay? But what does it say?
It's rain and rain. It says Shenzhen something construction. And I just love it because
construction engineering, does it say?
Engineering. These are construction workers with hard hats on.
Yeah.
And they're in a product of their own destruction.
Yes. Yeah, it's like Shenzhen First or something, you know, whatever it is, construction engineering company, right? And they're sitting there, yeah, like you say, that's their boardroom where they have meetings, right? Where they're supposed to, the bosses
like
sit
weddings.
there. Because look, they've got the flowers and everything. I mean, the plants and flowers.
They're getting watered.
Yeah, yeah, they are. That's where they would bring people in who are like coming to check on the project or investing or whatever. And this is what happens when it rains. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Oh, it's so...
Yeah.
It's the irony is rich.
It's pretty rich, yeah. Oh yeah, this is the other angle of that.
Oh, okay. She's an opera singer.
Yeah. Now, just to show you some of the fantastic construction practices that you can find around the countryside in China, I'd like to show you the bottle jack method. Okay. Take a look. By the way, if you look down here, down, like the one over, you can see that it's scaffolding.
Yeah.
With like metal poles.
Yes.
And they've laid bricks with cement on top of it as a support structure. So you got like bricks on top of poles on top of scaffolding.
Are you telling me these gentlemen
are
using car jacks,
bottle
small
jacks.
ones,
Yeah, bottle jacks.
Bottle jacks to lift a concrete building.
Yes, they're lifting the building to like make it right like a sag or something, slip some bricks in or something. Take a look. They're actually it's quite common apparently, because there's a couple of clips of them doing this. I mean, that's very like wrong.
I mean, it'll work, I guess.
It just also shows you how shoddy the construction is.
Yikes.
You know what I mean?
Yikes.
There's the same method. See, it's the same method on a different building, and there they are on a scaffolding, and they've built up a little brick wall, and they're using a bottle jack on top of that to lift the building so that you can see above me here, slide in a few more bricks. Probably the building wasn't level or got damaged in an earthquake or something, and they're trying to just fix it. So, yeah, I don't know if that's standard up-to-code practice around the world, but I feel like it's not.
No.
I feel like it really isn't. No. It's pretty chabadour.
Very chabadour.
Yeah.
You're using car jacks to lift up a...
Yeah, what are you doing using car jacks?
Building.
You know? I mean, okay. Get a special building jack at least.
I mean, if you're going to use a non-accurate tape measure, this is what happens. You got to repair it.
That's true. You know what I mean? Like it's built and it's like, it's a little skew. It's off to the side. It's like,
get the jacks out.
Yeah, get the jacks out. We'll fix it. You know what I mean?
It's just shocking. But you know what? It's not. We lived there so long. It's the kind of stuff. We didn't see this specific jacking, but we saw buildings that had been collapsed, that had literally slid off of each other.
We've got footage. We
stood up.
We drove around them and stuff.
It's nuts. It's so common that you'll run across it by accident.
Yeah.
You know, if you're out in the not even the countryside, just like outside of like the city center.
Yeah, if you get out of the big cities, you will see this kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is I believe the curtain wall on a building that's not properly secured. We did show this once before.
Yeah, look, it's just this is what happens when your measuring tape doesn't line it up.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because I mean, it doesn't stop just there.
No.
You know, it's everything. You take shortcuts with your building materials.
You get noodle rebar.
Yeah, that's what you want.
It's a delicious snack. What is that, a Tootsie Roll?
Yeah. Your parking garage load-bearing structures just come apart.
It's a cracker. It's a snack.
Yeah.
It's a little cracker.
Yeah. So that's something to watch out for.
It's one of those powder cakes.
Yeah, but of course, it gets worse. Like, look at the cross-section of this road, okay? You can't see any reinforcement underneath the road. See? It's just like a very thin layer of tar.
And you know, that's something that needs to be pointed out. Everyone's like, even critics of the CCP or China will say, oh, yes, they have the human rights. Yes, the whole genocide thing. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
But they can make a good road and they can make it real fast.
Yeah.
And my point.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at how the cross section of the earth there's no real support going on there. It's literally just a very, very thin bit of tar, basically. Imagine you coming out of that tunnel, by the way.
Oh, man. Like, you're screaming at like 120 kilometers an hour.
You're toast.
You're ripping.
You're going flying.
Maybe you'll go fast enough you can jump over it.
Yeah, no, you can't.
No, there's no race.
That's like rubbish. You know, you can see people have stopped in there, luckily, so people won't be doing that. But if it happened at night or something.
Yikes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yikes.
I love this. Can you explain this toilet clip quickly?
Yeah, so this is actually interesting. I had this in a video in the past, but I wanted to point it out because it's actually related.
Yeah.
The government, I always like to point this out, the government campaigns, the top will come up with something, a mandate.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how they get things done so fast, right? So Xi Jinping, the dictator of China, he comes up with this thing called the Great Toilet Revolution.
Yes.
And this idea was that China's toilets are so bad, but if it's going to be a developed country, then you got to have good toilets, right?
Yeah.
So all good and great because, like, if you go to China, you'll be appalled at the toilet quality. It's shocking, especially if you're traveling around anywhere outside the main cities.
Mm-hmm. Main cities is okay, and if you go into a nice hotels, usually have good toilets in them. But like public toilets are abysmal.
Oh yeah, I mean it's shocking. There's no toilet paper. There's no soap, right? So
and there's no dividers. It's a pit. Dividers. You know, like if you go to Beijing, you walk through the hutongs or something.
Yes, one of my first memories. Walked into a public toilet. It was a trough. A bunch of men sitting down next to each other, like squatting, and a man was playing Game Boy.
Yeah, which is bizarre.
And I was shocked. I was just like, I have to do this, and I couldn't do it.
No.
Anyway, so. Here's the deal. This toilet revolution comes out, and they're like, you have to have so many toilets in your city because the dear leader said so, right? And you get 差不多, remember, good enough.
Yes.
Campaigns where, like, I believe this is in Beijing, they put this in, and they put a square toilet seat on a round toilet, and they put two right next to each other. Can you imagine the conversation?
Yeah.
If you were sitting in there, and you're just like, what's up, dude?
Yeah, the thing is...
Brushing legs.
Yeah, no, privacy is not really treated the same in China, especially people that are used to having a personal space.
Yes.
They'll have a very hard time in China because, you know, when it comes to any kind of crowd, if you're getting on a bus or something like that, or if you're going to a market or lining up or something, people bump into you and brush into you all the time.
Yeah.
It's seen as normal.
Yeah.
It's not seen as rude or anything. It's just like whatever. That's what happens, right? People are bumping into each other all the time. And like, you know, it's kind of uncomfortable. But a lot of toilets you go to in China, like you said, they're no dividers. You have pit toilets next to each other or just a trough, like you say, especially in the more rural type areas. And there's nothing. Like, people just sit there and take a dump next to each other. You know, looking at it, staring at each other, whatever. It's weird.
Very uncomfortable.
Yes.
Very gross. Mm-hmm. And I just can't imagine the interaction here.
Yeah. Anyway, that was an interesting...
You hold each other's hands?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Help each other flush. I love this toilet, though. Looks like someone put it in a well.
This is well. This is interesting.
That's got to be bad for the groundwater, I suppose.
You don't say.
Anyway, I like the little brick ladder. That's pretty inventive.
It is. I guess it keeps the smell out.
Yeah.
Because the deeper it goes, the better it'll be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting that you've got a toilet all the way down. I'll play that again.
There's a lot of outhouses in China, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that's something we forgot to mention.
Yeah, we've definitely experienced those. I've got a whole video about the Chinese toilets.
Yeah, it's pretty appalling.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's a deep dump.
Now, thought we'd move on to military.
Yeah.
This is rare, okay, because they were obviously filming this live. Okay? Because that's the only way I can explain this, is that it was filmed live.
Okay.
They're testing out this aquatic...
Well, this is on CCTV 9.
Yeah. It's like an amphibious tank, right? Yeah. They're testing it out in the water, you know, and they're having a good go of it, you know. Looks amazing. There it goes. It's clipping along, and then all of a sudden something happens. Oh no. That's gotta suck. Look at the sky.
That's always gotta point it out.
Gotta look at the sky.
Always look at the sky.
Yeah.
Whenever there's propaganda clips, look at the sky.
Yeah.
Just look at the sky.
And remember, the propaganda clips, they make sure it's on the best day.
Yes.
So, you know, it's like this.
It's very polluted.
It still is very polluted. A lot of places have cleaned up.
I'm shocked that this was on CCTV 9.
Yeah.
Like, why would they?
It must have been live. It must have been live. I don't see why they'd show a failure like this.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, me too.
That would be very transparent for the Chinese government.
This, again, is a made in China. We're doing military stuff right now.
Yeah, so, you guys have probably seen this, but if you haven't, this is hilarious.
Yeah, it's made in China. These are the rifles that were issued to the Chinese PLA. They're shooting targets, and look at that. They're keyholing.
You know what keyholing is?
Yeah, it's when a bullet tumbles instead of, you know, spirals.
Yeah, and the rifling's wrong.
Yeah, of course.
So it comes out and it goes like this.
Yeah. So instead of, and that's going to, number one, affect accuracy, obviously, and distance.
Yes.
Because the whole point of a bullet spinning the rifling thing is to give it distance and accuracy. So if it's tumbling, it's rubbish. They're right near, so they're not going to be able to accurately hit the target, and it's just stupid, and it's a very bad thing. And I guess they made millions of these guns.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is we're talking about dangerous fakes, right? It's nothing more dangerous than in a wartime scenario having millions of these guns on the battlefield.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Maybe this is a psyop to make the rest of the world be like, well, their military sucks.
Yeah. Maybe. I'm pretty sure they've rectified it by now.
Yes.
But the fact that they put these out, I guess they just didn't know when they put out these videos.
I don't think they did. The people definitely in production definitely didn't know.
No.
And you're not going to have like a soldier that shot it noticing these things in the editing room.
Yeah.
They're not like, look, that's bad.
Yeah, because I remember it was like foreign journalists pointed this out.
Yes.
So they're probably like very proud of look at how we can shoot this ethnic looking man.
Yeah, they definitely made him look like a Uyghur.
They did.
They're so bad.
Yeah,
CCP PLA. What are you doing?
Yeah. Keyholing. Anyway, this is fantastic. You've got probably a military choir here. What do you think it is? Or just a military something.
Yes.
And it says, you know, 中国梦, Chinese dream up in the background. And
that was a big campaign under Xi Jinping, was the Chinese dream.
Yeah.
And I'll explain this in my video.
It's to be like, it's like a knockoff of the American dream.
It's the knockoff of the American dream, but what it actually means is everyone can have moderate prosperity.
Yes.
No one can get rich, but everyone can get moderate.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Right.
I'm going to get us out of here for this particular one.
Yeah.
Because it's quite awesome. Yeah, it's a choir. Bye. It's
Shanghai, more like Shanghai.
bye. Exactly. No, I really like it. It's just hilarious. Hopefully no one got injured.
Yeah. I think
probably
they're
not.
Probably fine. It didn't look like a massive drop.
No.
Not like into the abyss. We don't know what's under there.
You don't know what they're storing under there.
What if it was a sinkhole?
You never know, but it's pretty funny anyway.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so here we got some guys ready, some very important guests.
Some people said, why was there no sound? Because we didn't want you to have to hear like this. 没有共产党就没有新政. We didn't want you to have to hear that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so now what's going to happen here is we've got some very important guests arriving. Okay.
Oh, yes.
So these guys have to open the doors for them. All right. And they hear the guests are coming. So now it's time. We got to open the door. He's like, is it time? Yes, it's time. Okay, open the door quickly. I love that he fell over. He reeled back and fell over. It's brilliant.
Oh,
okay.
Literally.
Yeah. Now this is veering off a little bit. Okay. This is not about, made in China fake. This is made in China cheat mobile. Okay. A cheat machine.
Cheat.
Yeah.
Cheat.
Yeah. Cheat.
Yeah, not cheap.
No, cheat.
Yeah, cheat.
Okay. This is a money counter. Okay. And this is very common in China. Whenever you're doing deals, if you go to the bank or if you're going to pay someone, a lot of little businesses and stuff have these in their shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so common.
Yeah. So the thing is that the largest denomination, just like in America, is 100. The difference is $100 American is worth a lot more than 100 Chinese
100
RMB.
RMB is like $17.
It's like 17,
$15
yeah,
now,
$15. So when you have to buy anything of value, you have to take wads of this cash.
Because if you go, for example,
Mm-hmm.
if you go buy a LG washing machine, right, from Korea, right?
Sure.
You buy that machine in America, it's going to cost $2,000. You buy that machine in China, it's going to cost $2,000, right? So you're not, of course, a lot of things in China are cheaper, but a lot of things aren't.
No.
If not,
especially
more
expensive.
expensive.
If it's
on some of
imported,
them.
it's more expensive.
So you're shelling
Apple's
out,
more
like,
expensive. Yeah. Yeah. So you have to take huge wads of cash. It's very frustrating. So obviously, to cut down on time, they have these counting machines. You can see how it works here.
They sound like that.
Yeah. Put it in. Okay, and it reads it out to you. Okay? But now this is a cheater's machine, which you can buy.
Yep.
I guess the whole point of this video is this guy's demonstrating this cheating machine to a potential customer.
Yes. So, I mean, here's the thing. It's going down.
It keeps minusing, okay? And that's the thing. It's happened to me before where you give them a certain amount of money, they'll put it through the counting machine, and then they're like, oh, it's like 100 short or whatever. And you're like, oh, okay, I made a mistake. Or, so you give them that extra 100. The thing is, in this particular case, you can adjust this machine to disappear notes, okay? This goes on for a little. I'll just fast forward to the reveal. Okay.
So basically the number is counting down, by the way.
Yes. Okay. So the great reveal. Here we go. It stores the notes that it's stolen inside. He's like, yeah, and here's the access panel. So
that is so bad.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. He is selling that specifically to probably a small business owner. And the small business owner will be able to take a wad of someone's cash. Just do it once, by the way.
Yes.
Stick it in. Oh, you're like 300 short. Not only does he steal the 300, but then the other person will have to give him another 300. So he makes 600, makes double the money. You know what I mean?
You got to like really hone in on the threshold of what people will notice.
Yeah,
you know
it's obviously adjustable. You can say how much you want it to take and that kind of thing. Like maybe it just takes one every time.
Yes.
You know, that'd be smart.
Yes.
Yeah.
My favorite thing that I saw in China was these guys that, it's crazy because you'd think the cops would be catching these guys, but they'd run around to these machines and they'd go off the highway where people are paying tolls, right?
Yeah.
And only rich people are on highways usually because it's like 1 RMB per mile or kilometer.
Yeah.
Right. So it adds up.
It's expensive, yeah.
So you go, every highway in China costs money.
Yeah.
So when you go to the stops off the highway,
you get like a highway stop.
These people aren't poor. They're not farmers, right?
Yeah.
So they'll usually have more valuables, more valuable cars, and they'll actually have a machine where it'll jam the key and it'll steal people's cars. But my favorite thing was these people walking around, and you know what Easy Pass?
Yeah. Easy Pass, for those of you who don't know, every highway in China has a toll. You're not used to that if you live in another country, but every time you get on the highway, you have to pay, like you said, per kilometer. So you go through like a boom gate, and you either pay like an attendant,
but most people have an
you have an Easy Pass. It reads it takes a picture of your plate, lets you through.
And you put a card into that.
Yeah.
And it's prepaid. And it has
so
like
you load
10,000 RMB. And you can actually see how much money people have on the screen.
Yes, it tells
and CCP officials, when they go through there, it'll be like 10,000 RMB. I'm like, why do you have so much on your Easy
I know,
Pass?
what's going on?
Mine was like 300
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Anyway, so what they were doing is they walk around and they scan those cards and they actually suck the money out of the cards.
Yeah, they can.
It's pretty crazy.
They use like basically a point of sales type looking
it's like a POS
thing.
machine.
Yeah, and they walk up and they scan it and then they steal the money out. So if someone's got 1,000 RMB in there, they just take it out.
It's wild.
Yeah, I don't know how they managed to do that, but we've seen it. We're going to be looking at these weird and wonderful things you can buy on the Chinese internet.
多功能看真香，放松身心，蒸出。
Dreamcore weirdcore eyes with wings. Summer creative funny ladies licking red popsicle. 3D gravity nightlight. Gravity jumping cone. Butt whistle noise sound. Funny joke gadget prank.
Stinks, bomb smelly stinky gas. Crap.
It's very poor taste. It's the sinking Titanic water slide.
This.
What is that?
How about instead of testosterone, you take testosterone?
What? I mean, if you're like a clown and you have a house,
you never turn off your work mode.
Yeah, you just invite people over to your house. You're like, you know.